Hey guys, welcome to the General's Workshop. Today I'm super excited to show you an alternative to the traditional storage.
Check it out.
Introducing to you the elevated hidden haven. For me, this is a revolutionary storage concept that defies tradition by flipping storage on its head, quite literally. Welcome to my elevated hidden haven, where we kind of fuse aesthetics of my man cave with the functionality of a wood shop, because it's going down. Going down. Did you see what I did there? Because we're talking about something else. We're just gonna keep going. Just watching one of my favorite YouTubers out there. Hey guys, I wanted to give you a little bit on the why of this system, right? When it comes to the construction of my shop, there's one thing I knew that I wanted to do, and that is have a hidden style lumber rack, right? Most of the lumber racks that you see out there are the mobile carts, or the ones where you are fully aware visually of the racks themselves. So for me, I was thinking to myself, is there any way that I can conceal my sheet goods? That started this process, right? I initially was thinking of coming over to my tote tower and putting one along the backside. That would allow me to store my 8-foot sheets vertical, or if you will, on a back slot behind there. That would, one, conceal it. But ultimately I decided against that. In addition to that, at the same time in my shop planning, I also knew that this corner was going to be designated as my TV lounge area. Why? Because my shop is not just a shop, but I believe it to be a man cave within my shop. There is oftentimes I come out here to have my quiet time, to have my alone time, and I will come out here, watch movies, whether it's with family or friends, and then the family can be inside the house having their own thing going. We don't have to worry about competing sounds or having a nice entertainment center, if you will. I can do that out here just as easily. So with those two things, I started to put together this idea of elevating the floor. So that left me with this interesting idea of below. And I started thinking to myself, what if I created a stage myself that was large enough that I could store sheet goods underneath? So let me show you something. So here you can see one of the primary purposes of this stage, other than having an entertainment value and a lounge area, is going to be this compartment I'm about to show you. So we've got two just different tabs that I use that can come out. What you're gonna notice is that I have, and I can go up to approximately 12 sheets, depending upon my size. Now, this is not done, but this will plant a seed, hopefully for some of you, that this is a possibility. I'm gonna be having a system where there's gonna be 3 compartments that will store. I've actually got 10 sheets of maple veneer plywood that are underneath it. So I've got those sheets stored and you would never see it. Now, I do know that it's not supposed to be against the ground, as it can actually pick up moisture from the concrete, but we do have a sealant on the floor, which I'll be highlighting that on another adventure we're going to be doing out in the carport behind us. But that allows me to store that, and at the end of it, once I'm done, I just pop this back on, right? And you would never even necessarily know that that's going to be occurring. So here's one argument that I'm pretty positive that I'm going to get. Some of you will probably say that, is it really worth storing the lumber underneath the stage, from the sheer fact that it's just inefficient? It's down low, you have to bend over. As we all age, it's going to be harder to actually receive the lumber. And although I completely understand that argument, the reality for me is, now that I've actually done building almost all my cabinets, right? I'm not going to be doing a ton more with that, but I'll be doing occasional projects for me. So majority of that sheet goods are going to be under there in a storage fashion, true storage fashion. I mean, it's going to be there for a while before I need to gain access to it. So rather than leaving it out in the open, if you will, on a standalone or a portable rack, I choose to store it in there where it's concealed, knowing that I'll probably access those sheets multiple times throughout the year. So to me, the aesthetics of having it out of sight, quote unquote, out of mind, is more important than the occasional me having to retrieve the lumber from underneath the stage, just quite frankly. So I know some of you are gonna kind of say that, and again, hey, it's a good point. So you guys make some really good points. But nonetheless, this works great for me. We've got other hidden compartments that I wanna show you as well. Over here, this one runs the entire length, if you will, of the stage. On this particular side, I needed an area for my straight edges or my longer pieces, but I wanted to kind of keep those hidden and out of the way. So I've got my Craig track saw, my Bora straight edge clamp, as well as a few other goodies. So I've got my level and a couple other things Now, let me show you one other one that we have just over here that is more of a pull-out tray that's on wheels. And these are just that old rustic fence board that I've shown in some of my other videos. Just put these in. And then this will actually slide out, revealing storage. And then when I'm done, just like that, and it's all set. I'm gonna actually go and show you guys a little bit more of the process on the building of it. And I'm gonna have a mixture of photos as well as some video of the coating, if you will, that we did. We chose not to do a paint or an epoxy, but rather an polyurea coating on top of it, which we love, and it kind of matches the rest of the floor. I also think one of the benefits of having a stage-like structure for your man cave slash lounge area is this. One, let's say I would have this all the way down on the ground. It would still work, no doubt. But because I have it elevated, it creates a natural line that delineates between man cave, shop, man cave, shop. So your eye will naturally look at this and create itself kind of its own entity of space. So let's get into the actual build process. Starting with a frame structure of 12 inches high, let's take a glimpse at the main compartment, just slightly over 4 feet by 8 feet, perfectly tailored to accommodate full sheets of plywood. Notice the front component's unique angle. This is crafted to accommodate with the garage door that you see here. This compartment is simply top framed with 2x4s. Now, let's shift your focus to the elongated compartment on the southernmost side. This spans the entire length of the stage, just over 12 feet long. It's time to add the 1-inch square tubing and notch the 2x4s to lay the groundwork for the sheet goods primary structure. Transitioning smoothly, we move to apply 3/4 inch maple veneer plywood, assuring that the wall is fully prepped to handle any potential spattering. As the gray base coat sets the stage, it primes the surface for the application of the vinyl color flake. Now, we uniformly distribute the vinyl flake until it reaches a point of rejection, allowing it to partially cure before adding the 1-to-1 top coat. The meticulous process begins with cutting the edges using a 3-inch chip brush, followed by methodically rolling in the top coat. We start the application in a north-south pattern, careful to not overwork and or agitate the top coat, to fortify the finish, sealing the deal with the final back roll. In this particular case, we have a recall window allowing us to add another layer without the need for sanding, assuring a seamless bond within that time frame. A layer was seamlessly integrated into the step for added durability. Next, I want to start looking into the organization of the individual compartments. As it relates to this main unit, I'm going to actually keep that just the way that it is. That has sheet goods in it. And right now it's got all the 3/4 inch because I do have some cabinet projects that are coming up as we're building an ADU and doing some refinement in 2 of the small outbuildings that we have on the property. So this one's going to be staying mostly the same, but eventually they'll have a kind of an assortment of 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and then 1/4 inch plywood in this area. This back one, the only thing I'm going to be doing different in this back compartment is I'm going to be adding a couple of 4-inch PVC pipes so that I can actually put the level and the Bora clamp on the ceiling so it's not all just on the ground. The next thing that I'm actually really excited about is in the front, that pull-out tray that you saw. I'm going to actually be utilizing totes like this specifically that are going to have these QR codes. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the QR code system that goes along with organization, do yourself a favor. Check this video out and I'll tell you all about it. The secret stage build. No, shop storage space. The shop storage you didn't know that you needed. Well, until now. Why not? That's overused, isn't it? So let's do